Your team left the meeting fired up. A new plan, clear next steps. Everyone nodded. 2 weeks later, nothing changed. Same problems, same conversation, and you're wondering, what's wrong with this team? Here's the truth. It's not them. Stanford behavior scientist BJ Fogg spent 2 decades studying why people failed to follow through. And it's almost never about motivation. It's about friction. Your systems are designed to make the wrong things easy and the right things hard. So today, I'm going to show you how to flip that using Fogg's behavior science and Cal Newport's slow productivity so that focused, productive work becomes the path of least resistance for your team. This is video 1 of my friction-free team series. Section 1, Why Motivation Always Fails. Imagine a PD day. Teachers in a room, there's binders, there's energy. Think about the last time your team came back from a professional development day. The energy was high, people were sharing ideas in the hallway, somebody even made an action plan on a sticky note. Now think about what happened 3 weeks later. That sticky note is under a coffee mug, and the action plan is buried in an email that nobody even opened. And you're back to the same meeting, having the same conversation about the same problems. Most leaders might look at that and think, my team isn't committed. They don't care enough. If I could just get them more motivated. But BJ Fogg from Tiny Habits, he runs the Behavior Design Lab at Stanford, proved that motivation is the wrong lever. For any behavior to happen, 3 things have to be true at the same time. You need motivation, you need ability to do it, and you need a prompt. That's something that reminds you to act right now. B equals MAP. Here's that insight that changes everything. Motivation is volatile. It spikes after a keynote. It crashes on a Tuesday in February when you got parent conferences, a sub shortage, and a stack of benchmark data that you haven't even touched. Motivation is like a party animal friend. Great for a night out, but not someone you're going to rely on to pick you up from the airport. So what is reliable? Ability. Making the behavior easier to do. Reducing the friction. And here's the flip side. If you want to stop a behavior, you don't lecture people about it. You add friction. You make it harder to do. Make productive behavior easy. Make unproductive behavior hard. That one sentence is the entire philosophy behind every system I'm about to show you, and it's the foundation of this whole series. Coming up, 3 systems that flip the friction on your team. And the third one, it protects something most teams never even think about. The focus board. Let's start with the biggest friction problem in schools. Too many initiatives competing for your team's attention. Cal Newport, in one of my favorite audiobooks called Slow Productivity, calls this the overhead tax. Every single initiative that your team is managing, even the ones you're not actively working on right now, generates invisible coordination work. Emails, check-ins, updates, meetings about meetings. Newport did the math. 3 active projects might require 9 coordination interactions across your team. But 10 active projects? That's potentially 45 interactions. You're not collaborating anymore. You're just coordinating. It's that cognitive effort of remembering it, worrying about it, and finding that time for it. That's the overhead tax. And it's running in the background on every single initiative, whether you're working on it today or not. Imagine this. A 3rd grade team is juggling reading interventions, new math curriculum, PBIS behavior tracking. There's the science fair, there's parent engagement night, data walls, and a field trip coordination. That's 7 initiatives. They meet for 90 minutes every Tuesday and spend most of it just updating each other on where things stand. So they put up a board. A team focus board. It has 2 columns. Active, there's a maximum of 3, and the cue. They choose 3: reading interventions, math curriculum, and PBIS. Everything else went to the queue. Not eliminated and not forgotten, just not right now. The board is a prompt. It's on the wall, visible every meeting, so nobody has to remember what to focus on. The 3-item limit increases ability, fewer decisions, less cognitive load, and easier to act. And adding a new initiative now requires a visible act of moving something off of active. That's social friction that makes saying yes to everything a little bit harder. The board makes focus easy and overload hard. Here's exactly how to set it up. And by the way, I built a free team focus board for you. The link is in the description. Your team lead creates a board and gets a 6-character code, shares it with the team, and everyone sees the same board in real time. No accounts, no downloads. Or if you want to keep an analog, butcher paper on the wall, sticky notes, 2 columns. Either way it works. But what about all the small stuff that eats your meetings alive? That's system 2. Document clearing. Think about how decisions actually get made on your team right now. Somebody has a question on Monday. They send an email. 2 people reply. 1 person replies all with a different opinion. And by Wednesday, there's a 12-message thread and nothing's been decided. Thursday in the hallway, someone asks, "Did we ever figure that out?" And the answer is no. That entire cycle is friction on productive behavior. For every one of those emails is overhead tax. Newport's solution is what he calls a document clearing system. Here's how it works. You create one shared Google Doc. Title it with your team name. 3rd grade team document clearing. Bookmark it. Share the link. Throughout the week, whenever anyone on your team has something that needs a quick decision, yes, no, or delegate, they add 1 line to that document. There's no email, not a text, 1 line in the doc. Then the first 5 minutes of your next team meeting, the team lead reads through each item in the document clearing. The team makes a decision in 30 seconds or less. Done. Next item. If something needs actual discussion more than, let's say, 30 seconds, it gets moved to the meeting agenda. It doesn't hijack the clearing. Imagine this. That same 3rd grade team used to spend the first 30 minutes of their 90-minute meeting dealing with quick logistics. Field trip permission slips, who's covering Tuesday's duty, when the benchmark data is due. Now they clear all of that in just 5 minutes. And that's a 25-minute return to your actual collaboration on student learning every single week. Here's why this works through the behavior science lens. The doc reduces friction on decision making. Decisions are batched, not scattered across emails all week long. It adds friction on email chains. If you know it'll get handled on Tuesday, then you don't start the Monday thread. And the doc itself is the prompt. It captures items the moment they arise, so nobody has to hold them in their head. And Newport's bigger point is this. You're replacing what he calls the hyperactive hive mind, that constant back and forth messaging, with a structured process. And that process protects your team's most valuable resource, which is time spent on actual student learning. Now, here's the 3rd system, communication norms. Researcher Gloria Mark at UC Irvine found that it takes an average of 25 minutes and 26 seconds to fully regain focus after a single interruption. Now think about your teachers. They get an email during planning period, a parent text between classes, a Slack message from their team lead. a hallway question on the way to lunch. And this isn't happening during meetings. This is happening during the time your teachers are supposed to be planning instruction. 3 communication norms fix this. Norm 1, rotating point person. Designate one person per week to handle all parent and external communication for the team. It rotates, so instead of 5 teachers each responding to the same parent email individually, one person handles it. The other 4 are protected. Norm 2, the 48-hour rule. Non-urgent internal communication gets a 48-hour response window. This makes it acceptable, culturally acceptable, not to respond immediately. That one norm alone removes the prompt that drives constant email checking. And norm 3, the CC rule. Before you CC someone on an email, ask yourself, could this be a line in the document clearing doc instead? If yes, put it there. Not every thought needs to become someone else's interruption. You're not asking your team to work less. You're asking them to protect the work that actually matters. Every system we've talked about today does the same thing. The board makes focus easy and initiative overload hard. Document clearing makes decisions easy and email chains hard. Communication norms make deep work easy and constant interruptions hard. Make productive behavior easy, make unproductive behavior hard. That's not a productivity hack, that's behavior design at the system level. You're not changing people, you're changing the path. Remember that team that left the meeting fired up and changed nothing 2 weeks later? They didn't fail because they weren't motivated. They failed because their environment was designed against them. Now you know how to redesign it. Next video, I'm going to show you the free meeting tools that remove even more friction from your team's collaboration. Because if the meeting itself has friction, none of these systems get used. I built a free team focus board for your team. It takes about 10 seconds to set up. Link is in the description. I also put a friction audit checklist down there as well. A one-page tool where your team identifies exactly where productive behavior is hard and unproductive behavior is easy. Grab both and drop a comment. What's the biggest source of friction on your team? Hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.